So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's newspaper through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Alright? The purpose of this lecture series is very simple. The purpose is that your current affairs should get covered and you should get the much needed MCQ practice from those current affairs because current affairs form a very important, significant chunk or syllabus is very important part of your syllabus as far as prelims is concerned. All right, current affairs are very important, and in prelims, MCQ practice is very important. So, current affairs MCQ practice becomes of extreme importance. If you follow this lecture series regularly on a consistent basis, you follow it, you're consistent with it. Well, 4 to 5 MCQs daily would amount to more than 100 MCQs in a month. And by the end of next year, or not by the end of next year, by the time you give your next prelims examination, you would have covered 1200 MCQs from current affairs itself. It's a lot. So be consistent with this lecture series. Now today we are going to cover current affairs from 16 July 2024. So without further introduction, let's straight away jump to question number 1. Okay. Consider the following statements regarding PM Shri Scheme. Okay. It is a central sector scheme launched on September 2022 to upgrade schools as per new education policy. It has a budget of around 27,000 crore. Center is supposed to shoulder 60% of the financial burden and the states 40%. How many of the above statements are correct? Okay. Now, PM Shri Scheme is basically a scheme to upgrade around 14,500 schools in India as per the new education policy. All right. Now, this is PM Shri Scheme. It was launched in 2022 on the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, 5th September, which is also celebrated as Teachers' Day. Okay. Now, it is a centrally sponsored scheme, not central sector scheme, centrally sponsored scheme. Central sector schemes are those schemes in which the entire financial burden is on central government. Whereas centrally sponsored schemes are those schemes in which the entire financial burden is shared between central and state governments. 60% burden is with central government and 40% burden is with state governments. All right. So first statement is false because it's not a central sector scheme. Its budget is 27,000 crore for 5 years. That's absolutely true. And center is supposed to shoulder 60% and states 40%. That is also true. So only 2 statements are correct. The answer would be B. Question number 2. Which of the following statements regarding Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan are correct? It is a centrally sponsored scheme covering school education from preschool to class 12th. Okay. It has subsumed Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, not SARA, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, teachers education. Okay. Detailed school-wise status under the scheme is available on Prabandh portal. All right. Now, which of the above statements or which of these three statements are correct? Now, look. Earlier, to cover school education in government schools, there were 3 centrally sponsored schemes. One was Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which used to cover primary education, primary school education. Then there was Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, which used to cover secondary, senior secondary school education. And there was this component called teachers education, so that teachers teaching in these schools should be trained. Okay. Now, all these 3 schemes were combined into one single scheme called Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. All right. Now, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan is a centrally sponsored scheme which covers primary, secondary also. So, from preschool to class 12th. Absolutely correct. It has subsumed these 3 schemes, or absolutely correct. Now, a detailed report of each and every school with respect to this scheme. How is a particular school doing? Okay. How many teachers are there? What is the status of its infrastructure? Everything. Every detail, almost every detail that you can get from about a school is available on an online portal called Prabandh portal. So, Prabandh portal is basically a portal to manage Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Okay. So, this is also correct. All 3 statements are correct. Question number 3. Which of the following are findings of Digital News Report 2024? Over 50% of Indians rely on social media for news. Video is becoming a more important source of online news, especially with younger groups. The report is based on YouGov survey data from 6 continents and 47 markets. So look, There is this report that is published almost every year that is known as Digital News Report 2000 or Digital News Report. Now, Digital News Report actually paints the scenario or actually reveals the scenario of digital news across the globe. Okay, well, news is distributed to us in three forms. Okay, one is print news, newspapers. The other is TV news, and a new form of media that has come out. It is known as digital media: YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter. Right, digital media. Now, print and TV are known as traditional media. This is the new form of media. So, Digital News Report actually talks about this. Now, its 2024's report has revealed certain data. Now, that data says that 50% of Indians rely on social media for news. That means majority Indians trust social media rather than traditional media. Okay, print and TV. That is absolutely correct. Across the globe, people are relying more on video for their news or reels for their news. Basically, before this 2024 edition, this is basically the 13th edition of this report. Before this, people used to rely more on Facebook for news. They used to rely on Twitter, now known as X, for news. Now, Facebook's and Twitter's relevance has declined, and YouTube, WhatsApp, videos' relevance has increased. So, this statement is also correct. Now, this report is based on a survey conducted on 6 continents across 47 news markets. The survey is conducted by YouGov, which is a UK based organization. So, this statement is also correct. The answer to this question is also D. And last, consider the following statements regarding Foreigners Tribunal. Foreigners Tribunal actually deals with the cases of illegal immigration or an illegal foreigner in our country. So, these are special courts. Foreigners tribunals were established under the Foreigners Act 1946 through 1964 Executive Order. Okay. Under Section 9 of Foreigners Act 1946, the onus of proof lies on the person being accused of not being a citizen. Which of the above statements are correct? Now look, there is an act which deals with illegal immigration or illegal foreigners in our country, that is known as Foreigners Act. It was enacted in 1946. That means before British left India. Okay. Under this, if a person is accused of being an illegal foreigner, then his case shall be tried in special courts called foreigners' tribunals. These foreigners' tribunals are established under the Foreigners Act. And the first foreigner tribunal was established under the Foreigners Act in 1964 through an executive order. So this is absolutely correct. Now, if a particular government, whether it's state government or central government, accuses a person of being a foreigner or an illegal foreigner, and his or her case is in foreigners tribunal, then the burden of proof or the onus of proof lies on the accused, not the government. If government accuses you of being a foreigner, then you have to prove that you're not a foreigner. It's not the government's job to prove that you're a citizen or a foreigner. Okay? So the onus of proof lies on the accused, and this is mentioned in Section 9 of Foreigners Act. This is absolutely correct. Okay? And therefore, the answer to this question is C. And with that, we come to an end of this lecture. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Now, if you want the detailed notes for this lecture, that means all the questions and their detailed solutions, then be sure to check out our Telegram channel. There I've posted a detailed PDF file in which all these questions and their detailed solutions are mentioned. The link for our Telegram channel is given in the comment section below. So click on the link, subscribe to our Telegram channel, and you'll find a PDF over there. Okay? On that note, I'll be signing off, and I'll see you next time with the current affairs or MCQs from current affairs of 17th July. Thank you, everyone.